Oh, okay. We'll talk about a little bit. It was very interesting because we have a mutual friend in Ron Russell, and a few years ago he told our group an interesting story about going into a crop store. And I know this kind of thing tends to happen at times, right? And I would like to know if you had any experiences like this. But I'll just tell a story briefly. He told us that he went into the crop circle, and he forgot something in the car. And he went out to the car. His friend was meditating in the middle of the crop circle, and he went out to the car to get it. And his car was maybe 2, 3, 5 minutes away. And he kept walking and walking and walking and walking and walking. And 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I think he said. And he's like, wait a minute, I know for sure that this thing is not, that my car is not this far away. And he sees some beings, some people that look like they were from, what, the 13th century or something like that?
Something like speaking Chaucerian English.
Chaucerian English. And
not very common.
They seemed to be startled to see him, and he was startled to see them. And he kind of said, okay, whatever. And he turned around, and he started walking back. And he took him another 20 minutes to get back. He gets back to the crop circle. He sees his friend. He says, I'm really sorry. The weirdest thing happened to me. I mean, I'm sorry I was going so long. And his friend said, what do you mean? You were only gone for like 5 minutes. Okay. So what do you think that was all about? Was that was that particular circle a time portal that he walked through? I mean, is that one of the effects of these things?
It's been reported. This is not the only story I've heard. I've heard of the Ron. I've heard it from other people. They go out. Their friend is in the car. They think they've been gone in the circle for an hour, and they come back, and it's just 5 minutes. Or the inverse. The friend says, where have you been gone? The guy thought he was gone for 20 minutes. It's 4 hours later.
Wow.
I can't explain it except in the fact that there's a shift in time and space because it's like a living crystal that is changing the energy, and it's doing it to the extent that it's actually changing time and space to some extent. Sometimes when you go in there, you feel like you're connected to different places that are non-local. It has a connection to remote viewing like that. And there's a feeling of it. And, you know, in Planetary Intelligence, I just put a lot of these shapes together because when I look at them, you know, they have a feeling. And you can kind of flip through them and just see a whole bunch of circles at once in chronological order. And they just have a feeling that you can sense. Now, it's very hard to say what that feeling is, Joe. It's like RV in a sense. It's kind of in the subconscious. But it does have a feeling, and you can actually kind of resonate with them. So I think to bring it together, resonant viewing, crop circles, even extraterrestrial activity, and all sorts of other types of activity in this area that we're talking about, whatever you want to call it. I don't think it's really paranormal. It's just something we don't understand very well yet. There's a type of resonance field that's generated that changes the rules of reality. It changes the way we perceive reality. Things begin to change for real, not just in your imagination. It's really happening, and you can see it. Your equipment can see it. It says, I'm not functioning anymore. You get these kind of stories that people have from time to time about changes in time and space. And so there's a field being generated, a resonant field. Now, think about where we are in our own history right now. We're searching for new modes of energy. We have a new presidential administration coming in a few weeks. And this president seems to be open to green energy and new sources of energy. It also requires a new mindset where we actually believe it's possible to tap into other fields. It could be that we've been around energy all the time and there's no energy shortage at all. It's just we're short on ideas. We haven't really looked at all the possibilities, and these sorts of phenomena could be indicating to us, among others, that there are alternatives available that we haven't really tapped into yet. Because look, if we can make a crop circle that drains your batteries, could we make one that charges your batteries? Could it charge a grid? Could you build villages and towns around fields in such a way that you were generating energy from the crop? I mean, it's just one possibility. Or is there some other function to this that we're just learning to tap into that we haven't actually looked at yet? So this is really what we're talking about. We're talking about future technology. And both resonant viewing and crop circles and a lot of other topics associated with this. We were talking about Mark Macy's work before with communication, spirit communications. But there are other fields of information and energy that we're just learning. They're really there. Well, what can we do with them? How can we play with them and learn something from them? And that's what we're talking about. And so there's really a lot of possibilities.
Well, there certainly is a lot of areas to explore in all this. It certainly starts you thinking in different directions, and that's a good thing in itself. There's other questions I have for you. I would love to talk to you for another hour or so. Maybe you can come back some other time. I would love for you to come back. but we're getting close to break time here.
And let me just say one thing before we go.
Make a closing statement.
We do have our resonant viewing class coming up at the end of January for viewers that are interested. If they want to go to my website, learnrv.org, we
Been
can
up on the CGI.
we can still sign you up, and we'd love to see you in the class over in Boulder.
In Boulder, that's
last
right.
weekend.
You're in Boulder sometimes, and then you're in Idaho.
Right. We just kind of go around. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Simeon, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Joe.
It's been a pleasure. I want to thank our sponsors. Our sponsor, ISEAM, the International Society for the Study of Subtle Energy and Energy Medicine. And ISEAM is a vital community advancing subtle energies and energy medicines as a natural resource. And I want to just say to everybody, please go to our website, shiftingdimensions.com. And we're going to have this particular interview up on Google Video, so we'll have a link there so you can see it again and again and again. To try to process half of this information would be a feat worthy of any human being. So thank you very much for being here, Simeon. It's been a pleasure again. Please come back. And for Shifting Dimensions and for Linda Denoto, the director, and for myself, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
That was great.